Wow, we back. Breaking news and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ex-officer sentenced to 33 months in prison for the death case of Breonna Taylor. Let's see what that's
about. Police officer Brett Hankison. Hankison was one of 3 officers who fired into Breonna Taylor's home in March of 2020. But he's the only one of them to be charged and convicted. For violating her civil rights, a judge sentenced Hankison to nearly 3 years in prison. The Justice Department had recommended he receive just 1 day. CBS's Nicole Valdez was in the courtroom.
Say her name!
Outside the courthouse, supporters of Breonna Taylor gathered awaiting the news. Inside, after more than 4 hours, a federal judge sentenced former Louisville police officer Brett Hankison to 33 months in prison. Hankison addressed the court, including members of Taylor's family, saying, "If I knew the..."
Want to get the most out of one sheet?
Now, I would have never fired my gun.
Yeah, until I come out that doorway, you know what I mean?
Prosecutors say Hankison violated the department's use of force policy when he blindly fired 10 shots into her home without a clear target. Last week, the Department of Justice recommended the judge sentence Hankison to serve just 1 day in prison. Hankison is the only officer who's been convicted for firing his weapon during the botched no-knock raid.
I was banging at the door and she said, "Who is it?" And I just started shooting.
I want to thank all of the activists here in Louisville, Kentucky, and all across America.
And this will keep happening because ain't nobody gonna stand up and do that. Ain't nobody really ready to go leave their family for that type of stuff. And it's a sad situation or whatever. I think she was sleeping in her bed, if I remember correctly. Taylor was killed March 13, 2020. Found guilty last November. Hankison would not report directly to the president hearing. The Justice Department had requested a sentencing memo following Hankison's conviction that he be sentenced with time served, which would just be 1 day in prison. And it's just that's the system we live in. That's the world we live in. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't no more marching gonna help us out. Ain't no more protesting gonna help us out. We can do something economically, but still, it's the world we live in. She was a young mother, 26. Sleep. And cops can feel like they can do whatever because they know they ain't gonna get no real time or no real nothing because they're under the badges. Once you're under the badge, you're protected. But yeah, it's a very sad situation, man. Wish the best for the family. And I guess we'll leave it like that. Louisville. Yeah, I know what it is. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and prayers up to the Miss Breonna Taylor family or whatever. And we'll get it next time.